But we've been waiting to get to this space cake.
Space cake. Yeah.
I think it's about drugs.
All right.
So
this is news from other countries, and I confess, I had a glaring error on my sheet of paper here in front of me when I started, because it's from a place called Zealand, and I wrote down news from other countries, New Zealand.
Yeah.
But I'm incorrect. It's not New Zealand. It's Zealand, which is in the Netherlands. You couldn't get further apart.
Right. Yeah.
You just could not. So there's a in the province of Zeeland in the Netherlands, there is a very popular area called Lake Meer, or Meyer. I'm not sure how to pronounce it in Dutch. But anyway, there's a lot of hotels around it. And I guess the season has come to an end. One hotel worker was throwing a going away party for one of their employees. And one of the former coworkers is in trouble with the law because that coworker, who was a 29-year-old, she was a breakfast cook at the hotel. She brought in a space cake that she had made from home for the party. They call them space cakes. Here in the United States, we call them pod cakes. Chris Kelly's 100% right.
Oh, it is a pot cake. Okay.
Weed cake.
Weed cake. It is a weed cake. Space cake.
Space cakes is a fabulous way to describe a cake or a brownie that's been infused with cannabis.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So now the cook who made the space cake, she knew what was in it, and she did whisper to a few other people at the party, "Don't eat it until you get home."
Okay. Just quietly saying
But not everybody got the message.
Right. Okay.
So there's free cake in the break room. People were taking hunks and dropping.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Powerful.
One person had to spend the night in the hospital. He was projectile vomiting, and one woman was so sick with headaches that she could not work the next day.
Huh.
Because she took a big old hunk.
Well,
she ate it.
Well, you've heard it. That's a police officer who ate his 16-year-old daughter. Her friends made a pot cake.
I got up in the morning and ate it, the entire thing.
He was speaking from the hospital.
Still a lot.
He was speaking from the. That's a lot. He ate the entire. Remember,
A cake.
I got up in the morning and ate it, the entire thing.
The serving size is
He
sliced.
felt sick. He felt real sick after that.
He ate it for breakfast.
He ate the whole thing.
I can't tell you how many years that's bothered me. In fact, on my list of things I want to ask when I die is he here?
Yeah, this guy.
I want to know why he ate the whole cake.
I want to meet
breakfast.
This guy.
I got up in the morning and ate it, the entire thing.
He saw it sitting on the counter. He knew it was for his daughter's birthday, and yet he ate it, the entire thing. And she had no cake, but it was a marijuana cake, unbeknownst to
Or
her.
space cake.
Yeah, or space cake. Yeah, where is he now? Where's she now? That was a while back.
So what's the deal? Why are people getting sick? I mean, how many pieces are you? What size?
Well, now
If
wait a
these
minute.
people
Now.
ate a
Oh no, wait a minute.
Oh, talk about it.
Wait a minute now. If you're talking about edibles, you could. Many people have had a little tiny bite of brownie and thought, "Oh, this did nothing for me," and eat a second one, and then they're just blitzed. You know,
Right.
there's totally. So I could, if you
Because
eat
it hits your system differently because it goes through your digestive tract first.
So if you eat a big hunk of cake, I bet if you cut a good size slice, I bet you're supposed to have a little tiny square. of it.
Sliver.
Yeah. Sliver, and they take hunk, and hunk gets you sick.
These two people took hunks. 6 people, I think, passed or got sick. One, like I said, had to go to the hospital. One could not work the next day. Eventually, the cook copped to it. She said, "Yeah, I made a space cake."
Okay.
So and this is an interesting sort of thing in the Netherlands world, in the Netherlands justice system. She had to pay the lost wages for the woman who missed work.
Oh.
And the court has held a €750 fine over her. If she doesn't commit any more offenses over the next year, that goes away.
Yeah.
But if she does, then she has to pay the fine.
Yeah, that seems fair. I mean, you should
think so,
probably have
too.
to pay that back. I mean, the woman would not have missed work if not eating her space cake.
What would the penalty be here in America?
I think it's a misdemeanor. Well, I don't know. Other people are eating it without their knowledge. It can make them really sick.
I mean, usually putting the substances in food and serving it up to people
tampering is
pretty bad.
serious.
That's
big
pretty
stuff.
bad.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a felony, but it's
pretty bad.
up there.
Get a little time for that, maybe, or a fine for sure.
A huge fine.
Heroin Scott, you're talking about space cake or weed cake, as we call it. Go ahead.
Well, it depends on how it's made because, the butter can be infused with it, the whole cake itself, everything you use pretty much can be infused with marijuana. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, I hear you.
if everything in the cake is infused with it, then, it's going to be really strong. And I told y'all the story about the grandma that got took to the hospital because she ate a brownie and she didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And she was like 90, 80 some years old, and they found out she was just dehydrated, but she was having a panic attack.
It seems to be pretty common. Yeah, people.
I bet they're making space cakes in Ohio this morning.
They are.
They just voted in marijuana.
You know what I'm saying?
Legally. I know exactly what you're saying. Thank you, Heroin Scott. Appreciate it. They always say put it in the butter, infuse the darn thing, and put a little butter in your brownies, and you'll be just fine. Barry, you're talking about space cake, or as we call it, weed cake. Go ahead.
Man, I've never smoked in my life, and I've got a lot of anxiety, stay angry all the time. A friend of mine gave me a brownie. He said, hey, man, eat a piece of it. If you don't feel anything, after about 30 minutes, eat a little more. Well, I ate a little more, and it literally took about 2 hours. But when it hit me, I'm 250 pounds. I was face down in my backyard. I just couldn't function. I was coherent, couldn't function. My wife left me out there.
Oh,
I stayed out there about 2.5, 3 hours. She left me in the backyard.
Probably for the best.
There's nothing like that kind of high.
Be done.
yeah.
I guess.
You're going to be dumb. You got to be tough. Yeah, that's my only time messing with it. We'll be the last.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you don't want
All
to. So you don't want to try to get the dosage just right. You're not going to do it again.
Well, I was an amateur, and I learned the hard way.
That's it, man. Yeah, that's right.
But you want to try it again because dosage, it seems like, would be different on everything you eat, right?
Because it's inconsistent.
Because it's inconsistent.
Yeah, probably so. Boy, I like the way Barry really bared his soul there. He's like,
yeah, that's a storyteller.
I'm an anger ball. I'm 250 pounds. I ate too much. I was face down.
Face down in the backyard.
My wife
Wife
left me
said,
out
"Leave."
there. I love
Stay
it.
out there.
I love it.
Wildlife
That's raw.
crawling all
That's
over.
raw. I appreciate
The
that.
house is finally quiet.
That is raw. He said it, and that's it. That's how you do that.
You think you're going to go to a Reds game sometime next season, Kelly?
I'm the biggest red. They're my National League team. They're my National League team.
Go see Michigan play Ohio
Right.
State.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Go see the Browns play?
Yeah,
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is
of course,
calling.
right there. It's right there.
I hear
you know?
Columbus is nice
I
this
like
time
the
of year.
Bengals.
No,
I'm a
I've been
Bengals
to
guy.
Columbus. You need to be high.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, go for the Ohio State game, of course.
Overwhelmingly passed.
Oh, my God. In droves they came out to pass that in Ohio. There's more food in the news today, and we've seen this coming for a while now. Earlier today we reported, this is about marijuana, that people, at least last year, according to studies, smoked more marijuana than cigarettes, which is really surprising to me because, of course, cigarettes are legal in every state.
This is smoking v. smoking.
This is smoking v. smoking. More marijuana smoked than cigarettes smoked. Biggie says it's because of vaping. Vaping is taken off so much.
Oh, well,
so that gets rid of more
There are
cigarettes.
fewer cigarette smokers.
Here's another trend, and definitely you'll know this. Drive-throughs now. Okay, what percentage of fast food dining do you think goes through the drive-through? This is the question for you. They've just done a in-depth report on this, according to Revenue Management Solutions. What percentage of America's fast
My
food
favorite consultant
orders?
group.
Yes, America's fast food consumption.
85.
All right, 80. You're in at 85.
70.
Dave.
I was going to say 80.
Yeah, it's 72. It's 72% go through the drive-through. So because of that, Popeyes has said they're going to cut the size of their dining rooms in half. Taco Bell now is seriously considering eliminating all in-store eating. You just have drive-throughs. You just have a small store, you drive through, and
It's
you get
Taco Bell. Eat it in your car.
it. That'll be the slogan. It's Taco Bell. Just eat it in your car. We know what we are.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing. Chick-fil-A is going ahead with their plans to open a 2-story, 4-lane drive-through that will shoot the food to you through a tube.
Hydraulics?
Hydraulics in a tube. They're doing their prototype in Atlanta next year. 75 cars at a time could have food shot at them.
That's Jetson stuff, man.
What
It is.
Yeah. Chris Tipp said just open your sunroof and they'll dump nuggets into your mouth. That's how it's done. That's right. Why has the drive-through exploded in popularity? Because the experience has become faster and smoother, and people trust the ordering process through the drive-thru now as much as they do going inside, which used to not be the case.
Yeah, I guess to Biggie's, maybe Biggie was thinking about this when he gave his number.
Mm-hmm.
They still have to have people coming in because that's where the drivers go to pick up the food to be delivered.
That's right. That's right.
And that's how. I wonder how Chris Kelly feels about this because a while ago I said that you're going to see more uptick of no sit-down restaurants,
right?
And you verbally abused me over that number and fact because you just couldn't fathom a day.
I don't like it.
And I'll tell you this, Chris Demm, Wendy's, for example, is designing like a DoorDash Grubhub window.
Yeah.
Where they will just
I can certainly see that.
Where they will just go to that. Right now you can pull in. I wonder how much of this is app stuff too.
That's
because
the way to do it.
let me tell you, if you're on social media at all, every place wants you to order through their app. They'll
Yes.
give you something for it.
Yes.
Pull up, we'll bring it out. Now some places just go through the drive-through, say app number, order number, blah, blah, blah. Hand it right out. I just...
You're still Johnny Speaker?
I know this is going to bother Chris Kelly, though.
Yeah, it bothers me. Of course it bothers me.
And you don't go in, but you don't like change.
I don't like change, and I'll tell you, my friend the Diesel Man, he is.
Ooh, he's not gonna like
oh
this.
my
Hard time.
God,
when
he
he
has a hard
can't
time.
go in and get a chalupa.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, he goes in and reads a book. He goes into Chick-fil-A and sits down in the booth and reads while he eats, or Subway, or wherever.
I am.
Not the.
I heard about this guy.
You go to Chicken and Pickles, you don't talk in a speaker anymore.
No, it's all through the pad.
Oh, you're
No.
You-
and I do
you
the
talk
app
to the
there.
person.
I do the app. The app. Now, with the app, you can either join the drive-through line and just say, I'm an app, and they'll say, what's your name? And you say it, and you get it. Or, saves a lot of time, you go in and pick it up off the counter.
That's the way to do
You know,
it.
that
Yeah.
honestly, that saves you a lot of time.
I do wonder. I think like McDonald's,
Mhm.
Chick-fil-A, I think they'll keep seating because I think that those two might have the most amount of people actually still come in.
Well, don't they do, like, for me, when my kids were young, we'd go into Chick-fil-A and sit for 2 hours while they played in the play place.
That's what I was going to say. My nieces know McDonald's not because of the food, but because of the play place.
Yes.
And they'll go for 2 hours there. So I think those places might keep seating maybe less, maybe half,
Yeah.
but they'll still have
Well,
it.
the only one to mention actually getting rid of the dining room is Taco Bell. The others say, yes, we're cutting down on the amount of people that come inside or the
But you
space
said a
to
few
do it.
weeks ago that McDonald's is getting rid of their indoor drink machines. So
Yeah.
that might be
Yeah.
they're kind of nudging that way
Well, listen,
eventually.
I know that. Don't you think, though, there's something wrong with, to me, and they say the last line of this article is, people emerge from the pandemic with less tolerance for interacting with strangers, which is certainly true. I mean, you'd rather just go and pick it up off a counter. A lot of people are like that. But don't you think the whole thing, this and social media, it just is driving us apart where you can just stay by yourself and not see anybody?
Yes, as a people, you become not a country divided, but isolationists.
Isolated. And I don't think it's a good thing. I mean, I know it's convenient and and Biggie says he'll pull up to a Target and they come out and put it in your trunk and you don't even have to really say anything to anybody.
Right.
Don't you think there's something to the
Yes.
We need to be more connected.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I like going and shopping. I like going to the
Yeah.
Target and going
I do
inside,
too.
and I like going to the.
Yeah.
I still like going to department stores, even though
Me too.
they're going to be gone in 10 years.
I agree with you.
They're going to be gone.
You and I are a dying breed, though.
Yeah.
But we do that.
I can smell it.
The best thing about it is when I go in the department store, nobody's in there.
I can smell the liniment coming off both of
You
them.
and I are different. We'll go in there and we'll go
Read
in.
the paper.
We'll go
When
in
this
and sit
radio
down and do
TV
it.
thing isn't working out, I'll be stocking the shelves
That's
at
fine.
Belk.
That's right. That's fine. Lee, you're talking about fast food and the changes. They're pivoting, of course, more toward apps and drive-thrus. Go ahead.
My thing is not necessarily with the fast food changes. Is I hate DoorDash because I feel like if I am a paying customer there with cash in my hand, that some jackleg that ordered off an app that couldn't get off his butt to come in order is like I'm standing in line waiting while 18 people get their food before me.
Oh, that
or
is-
my food's wrong because there's so many DoorDashes there.
Yeah, I know.
You mean literally
Yeah.
preparing your order?
Listen, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Now, I'd go to the $12 salad store a lot. Used to go a lot more. And I would stand there in line, and they'd say, hold on a moment, sir, while they make 6 other burritos or bowls.
They've already got tickets coming in.
because
on
the
those.
tickets are coming in.
And
Now, that
there's-
bothers me.
There's 5 guys standing there staring at their phones.
Yeah.
Who are DoorDash drivers.
Yeah.
Going, how long? Let's go.
yeah.
I got to
Yeah.
get this thing.
Now, if you're going to do it, if we're going to make the move toward it, I think what Biggie has suggested many times is you're going to have one station for that,
Chipotle's done it best.
Right.
When
They
they
did
started
it.
doing this, they've literally built
Yes.
a separate area in their kitchens that
Yes.
was just for like the to-go orders.
They built this city.
They did.
They did. But look how efficient it is, though. I mean,
That's better there.
it's there
Efficient.
now. Of course, everyone jokes, and it's true. You can also roll into Chipotle and be like, "Yeah, that one."
Well, I got my meal
Yeah.
at Chipotle was stolen from
Yeah.
me. Thank you, Lee. Appreciate it. Because I went in there like expecting it to be there, waited 15 minutes, said, "Where's my order?" They said, "Oh, somebody came in and stole
Yeah.
it."
We should also thank Lee. This is off the topic. Just the use of the word jackleg.
I love it.
Never.
I love it.
Never gets
Some jacklegs ordered 3 or 4 things on DoorDash.
He's talking to one
He
jackleg.
hates it. He hates it. Well, I've really enjoyed the callers.
I
this
love
segment.
it.
But so
Okay,
good
very,
today.
very raw. That's jacklegged.
And let me say that I am that jackleg.
I know you're that jack.
Uh-huh.
I
And
know
you know what
are.
I say?
Yeah.
Toot toot.
Yeah, I know. He's a jackleg.
Out of the way.
You know the reason I think this bothers me, honestly, is because it all changed because of the pandemic, and I hate that we let it change us so much.
Yeah.
I hate that terrible time, Now, probably it's for the better. It's more efficient, whatever. You are allowed to do. You can eat either way you want to now.
It's better for the business.
It's better for the business. They have many different, but I hate that time changed our culture so much. You know, work from home. People won't go to work anymore. People can't staff the fast food restaurant. People order on door. It just bothers me. It takes me back to that time that I hated so much.
But can't you see now, 10 to 15 years, as somebody that likes to go back in time as well, 10 years from now, there'll be an article online somewhere. Look at this. There's a McDonald's that you can go eat in. There's still a couple around.
It'll probably change back. You know, it could change back eventually.
Well, it'll try to. I don't think it'll change back. I think it's over.
Some things come and go, though. I mean, things
it's too much money.
Mm-hmm. Well, definitely. I mean, I told you, I know a guy who knows a guy.
What?
Yeah, and who owns a Chick-fil-A. Yeah. And during the pandemic, the guy said, I hope we never reopen because everybody comes through his dining room. He said, I hope we never reopen the dining room. You know, fewer straws are used, fewer condiments are used, no toilet paper, no cleanup.
The old ladies with the gray rag.
What's she supposed to wipe?
Fired. She fired her. You're out, sister.
Hey,
get out of here, Granny.
Hey, Myrtle.
Go wipe the grandkids' butts.
That's right. Hang up your rag.
Get out of here.
It's done.
We don't need you.
We don't need the gray rag. Derek, you're talking about DoorDash. Some jackleg ordering DoorDash ahead of you. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, you got to think about how COVID really impacted our society because we got, teenagers that were raised for a couple of years to grab their food and go home and hide in their house.
Yes.
I managed a restaurant in 2021, and our business model was based on almost 38% of our business being takeout. When prior to COVID, I mean, it was almost a niche thing to get takeout from a sit-down restaurant.
Right.
And we're raising a generation of kids now that thinks it's almost weird to pull up in a McDonald's and actually go sit down inside.
Absolutely right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Point.
And that's why I dislike it. Because it just that terrible, terrible time changed everything. And I just think it's a lost art. No, it's a lost thing to go sit at a restaurant. Yeah, I agree. I think that's
But you rarely went inside anyway.
I never did.
To sit down and
I never did. Mm-mm. Thank you, Derek. No, I would go through the drive-thru all the time.
Every day almost.
You just like knowing things are the same.
Well, I liked when I did go inside that it was full and that people were working and that it was, I just think that's the way to do it. And it's changed now. It's just not going to be the same anymore.
Well, it's all retail too. I mean, people still go to football games and they still go to concerts.
You're right.
We do still get together, but just not everyday mundane.
Right. When the pandemic started, Biggie said, this is probably day 5 of the pandemic. Biggie said, a lot of things are going to change after this pandemic. And I said, no, it won't.
This is going to unite us.
I said,
people crave each other. We want to be together.
We want to be together. Biggie said, everything's going to change. I said, nothing's going to change.
Ouch.
Nothing is going to change.
What's a jackleg thing to say, isn't it?
I would have to revise. I think I will have to revise. But now, has anything changed in this room? No, it has not. We still come right in here.
No, we still got wires and cables all over the place.
Right here.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.